Hello and welcome. So we're going to get ready to do the final era, Starfarers. And the setup for this is quite simple. You're going to have the primary and secondary and then these alien discoveries. So that's your first section here. And then it shows that you get 3 teams now instead of 2. And they go into the Sol system. So this one is all stars now. We're going into solar systems, and from one to the next, there's no more planets involved. And the Sol system is this one right here in the middle, and you can see we have a shield factory, so you don't have to worry about radiation. We don't, because we have that adaptation, but just in case your game has that problem. And then the first Beyond marker, there's some rewards that we get. And our reward is that we start in Alpha Centauri, and you can see that we're actually on the star here, and that means something to say that we're on the star. I'll explain that in a second. And then the AI, even though we got the first Beyond, the AI starts in Lumen 16. So, and they're also on the star. In fact, the AI is always on the star. It can never be off the star. Only we are off the star. So the AI gets a huge advantage there, and like I said, I'll explain that in a second. Obviously, all the bases go in the cup. All the cubes go here. Nothing new there. The starting hand is exactly as you would expect. We draw 2. You know, the starter cards are all on top, and then these, of course, are the Starfarer cards that have the star on the bottom left. And we're using the Mariner deck for this. And this is just like before. You take the 12 starter cards, 6 of them are on top of the deck, the other 6 are shuffled in. And then one last thing that I wish I would have kept one behind, but there are these time cards that you should see. And remember from the component overview, we went over that. There's these time cards. There's, I think, 8 of them. And they also are shuffled into the Mariner deck. Now, the time cards in the multiplayer game actually benefit you because you get time cards, not the AI. There is no AI in a multiplayer game, but it's very interesting how they get mixed in to the Mariner deck. And I think it's because the Mariner deck is the smallest deck of all of them, so I think he needed to add those 8 time cards there just to give the AI whatever percentages that he was shooting for. Of course, I'm referring to the designer, and I'm talking completely out of my butt, so I could be dead wrong. So anyways, that's it for, obviously we have to deal the top 4 cards to the offer, which I haven't done, and then we get new progress cards, so we'll go over that in a second. And then the colony tiles. There's a whole bunch of colony tiles. So they're all here, and they're all going to look at various things, but the big thing you need to know for now is they always are oriented with the pips at the top, okay? And then over here on the left, you see it says 2, 3, 4. So in a 2, 3, and 4 player game, we would use this one. This one is only used in a 4 player game. And what's crazy is there's ones like this one that's only used in a 3 player game. So you have to pay attention and make sure you have the right numbers for your game. Obviously, in a solitaire game, you're only going to have the ones that have a 1 on them, and there's exactly 11. So that much I can tell you. And I already got those 11, and they are on here. So what you do is you find your 11, and then they match the picture. So you just match the picture and then put the colony on top. So now you can see that this particular colony has a bonus that comes with it. And I picked this one because if you remember, we took this where all of our bases are considered to be secure bases. So that particular colony I thought was interesting because look, you get 1 trillion for every site at which you have a secure base. So if I have a secure base at many sites, I can actually get quite a bit of money. Now the progress cards, we have 3 adaptations and 3 breakthroughs. There are 2 sets that are only used in multiplayer games. This one is a super cool one. You actually get 2 genetic and 2 revelation bumps. The other one, of course, is that's a multiplayer one where you actually force the player who's winning the game to lose lose money. Okay, so in a nutshell, this one gives you a colony point. We haven't talked about what that means yet. This one lets you build 2 bases on 1 discovery tile. It's only for the primary discovery tiles, but that is pretty powerful. This one allows us to put a 4th cube. Remember, we actually have 4 cubes, and we start the game with 3. You can actually get your 4th cube out on the board. This one lets you do a move times 4. So yes, you read that correctly. Whatever your move value is, you get to multiply it by 4. This one lets you move from Sol to anywhere on the board. Instant travel, basically. And the last one is, it seems weak at first, but it's actually pretty powerful. When you play a card, you can automatically put it in your tableau as an upgrade. So you never have to do an upgrade action anymore. You can just play the card. And then remember, when you upgrade a card that's the same era, it goes back in your hand. So you could literally play the card, upgrade it, and then play another card and replace the one you just upgraded. And those cards will never get discarded. You can just keep cycling them over and over again. It's quite powerful. So keep that in mind. Okay, so what are the new rules? First of all, let's review the board. Couple of key things. The Sol region is here, and everything like this, for example, is Alpha Centauri. We have Wolf 1061, and of course these are the names of the stars. A couple of key things you need to notice. The first one is this is a single star. This is a multi-star. See how there's 2 of them? Alpha Centauri has 3. The number doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that it's either 1 or it's more than 1. That's the only thing you need to pay attention to. These tiles are primary, and these are secondary, and these are the discovery tiles. You might notice that there's only 1 E number and 1 B number. So you might be thinking, well, how does that work? Well, if I do an Explore 7, I explore both of these. So you're exploring the entire region all at once, just for 1 explore action. So when you build a base, you're building a base on the entire region all at once. So you're actually going to be putting 2 bases out instead of just 1. So that's the big mental shift. The other thing is when you do move, there is no takeoff and landing anymore because you're going from star system to star system. But you might notice that the move is ridiculously high. This move is 20, and then you come around for 50. So you need 70 movement points to go from Sol to Wolf 1061. And yes, you read that correctly. You need 120 movement points to go from Wolf 1061 to the Orion Spur. So the movement can get pretty crazy. And there's an empty region here, and you can never end your turn on an empty region. Empty regions serve no purpose but to make you cry, because now you have to spend 30 movement to get into the empty region, and you have to spend 30 more to get out of it. And so you can't like spend 30 on one turn and stay in here and then spend 30 on the next turn. Nope, you gotta have all 60 all at once. There's a concept called nearby, and most of the time they mark it on the board. I think nearly every time they do. But you'll see the keyword nearby on cards and in rules. And the word nearby just means any 2 systems that are 20 or less. So these 2, of course, are nearby each other. Alpha Centauri is nearby Sol. And nearby will confer a benefit for you in some cases. And so, for example, Alpha Centauri is not nearby Wolf 1061 because there's a 50 there. Okay, so I've actually covered a lot of the new rules already, which I guess it just comes naturally with looking at the board. So let's go through the new rules. The first one is that there's now this thing called a multiplier. Well, if you're going to need 120 movement points, you're going to need movement multipliers. So that's the thing. And what it's trying to say is there's 2 primary rules with this. You do your addition first and multiplication second. That's a rule we already knew. But now let's say I have like 8 movement points, and then I have a times 2, and then I have a times 4. Well, I would do 8 times 2 and get 16, and then I take that 16 and it's times 4, which is what, 64? So that's what you do in that situation. There's no other crazy, the math is multiplicative. How about that? So if you have 2 different multipliers, you get to multiply them by each other. So it gets pretty insane, and yes, you can get to some seriously high numbers. The other rule that's in here is, let's say I have a move times 3 card and another move times 3 card, and that's the only movement cards I have. Well, how do am I going to be doing 0 times 3? The answer is no. What you do is you just take one of them and it becomes a 3. The other one is still a multiplier, so it would be a 9 in that case. Or if you had a times 3 and a 4, you could make this one a 4 and then multiply by 3 and get 12. In the end of the day, you just multiply them together. Because yes, you could just treat that as, if you just multiply the 2, that's what you get. But the rules do try to explain that for you. Okay, the interstellar movement is the next one, and we already described a lot of that. The star systems, we described that. The star tracks. Yes, okay. So let's say we do a move action, and I'm just going to use this cube as the example. So let's say I move. It doesn't matter where I move from, but let's say I'm moving to here. What you do is you actually land in this star track, which is there. And the rules explain that this represents like, because you're light years apart, the communication is very poor, and there's just a huge delay. So there's a delay between the time you move there and the time when you get established a connection with the, homeland or whatever. So at the beginning of every turn, this is going to move to the right, and then move to the right, and then eventually you get to the star. And that's what I mean by off the star, on the star. When you're off the star, you can do no actions of any kind with that team. That team's like locked, and there's not a dang thing you can do. So you're basically, when you move here, you're committing to waiting 1, 2, 3 turns before you can do anything. And so, yes, that can be nerve-wracking and it's frustrating. And I think that's why, that's why we have 3 cubes instead of 2, because you could actually have a situation where all 3 of your cubes are tied up. So then your only action that you can do is like a research action or something. So that's important. We already explained the Explorer. There are 2 alien cards that do nasty things to us. Now, the good news is we have the security bases, so we're actually going to be able to overcome these. But there are rules here for you when you run into them. And then the last thing is the colonies. And there's a lot written here, and I'm going to give you my summary, and then I'll show you how to apply them. The building bases we talked about, this contract rewards is the same exact rules as before. You can see there's a contract we never ever did. So if we actually do the 3rd one here, we're actually going to get all 3 of those added together. And what is that one, by the way? Colonies with at least 16 value. Okay, that's possible. And then there's this new thing called a competition site action. We had a site action before. Remember when we did a site action on our cheat sheet, we would go here, and then there was this chart, right? Does it have a competition team not present? Then you do this. If it's present, then you do that. And what it's saying now is this is gone. And if you look here, you'll see this is for the moon and the Planeteer. Now we're at the Starfarers, so there's a whole new AI for site actions. And let me just tell you, it's not that bad. The text, the way it's worded is really weird. I just feel like it could be done better, but it is comprehensive, and trust me, you're not going to get lost. As long as you just step through patiently, you'll know exactly what you need to do. Okay, so let's talk about colonies. Remember, in the past, you had to move there, then you had to So like you would have to move somewhere, right? So let's say this was the Mariners board. You'd have to move to a planet, and then if there was a box like this, you had to explore it. And then after it was explored, you'd claim the tile, and then you would build a base, right? You had to do it in that order. You couldn't build a base before it was explored or before you moved there, right? Well, in this one, it's the same sequence, move, explore, base, but then there's a new one called colony. So you have a fourth sequence. And building a colony is as simple as that. You just want to build a colony. Now, there's no cards you have to play. So normally we have to spend move points or build points. You do not have to spend any cards to build a colony. However, colonies can be hard to build. They can be, but they're not always. And so that's where this board over here comes in real handy. And it's a very wonderful board. I think you'll come to like it when you're playing your own game. But let's talk about the colonies real quick. So I'm going to grab two of them here. So this colony to the right is, obviously most of the stuff you can ignore. But the picture obviously helps you to match up where it goes, and there's a special power for each colony. Just read it and it'll be self-explanatory most of the time. One second, I'm getting a drink. Okay, so what do you need to know? Two things. In a solo game, you need to know this number because the AI uses that number to determine which colony it builds. So that's what these white numbers are for. But the pips at the top are the biggest thing you need to know, other than the fact you got to make sure you only pick the colonies that have a 1 on them. But so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 pips. This one's 3. Okay. This, by the way, is one of those colonies that does nothing for you. It's just a colony. And then this one, of course, has some kind of superpower. All right. So why is this important? Well, first of all, you need 6 colony points to build this, and you only need 3 colony points to build that. So this one is way easier to build than this. So what I'm going to show you next is what does that involve. So we're going to put these back. Now, what is the benefit of a colony? It tells you right here. You're eligible to conduct a move action to an adjacent Orion spur region. So this is just like the first beyond marker. The very first player to get in an Orion spur gets 5 trillion. Every other player only gets 2 trillion. And there's 3 of them. There's one here, one there, and one there. So if I go into this one, it's locked up. That's mine. Then somebody else has to go into that one or that one. And whoever goes into those after I've already gone into this, I collect 5 when I go in here. They're only going to get to collect 2. Now I have 3 cubes. So it is possible I can claim all 3 of them and get 9 trillion. We're going to have a whale of a game if I ever pull that off. But the prerequisite to going in here is I need to have a colony next to it. So I either need a colony in Wolf 1061 or a colony in Groombridge 1618. Without a colony, I can't do it. Okay, so that's the first benefit. The second benefit is it gives you a colony point. That's what the CP stands for. It gives me a colony point when colonizing a nearby region. Okay, so if I have a colony here, it doesn't do diddly squat because I'm not nearby that and I'm not nearby that. But I do have a colony in Sol, and this is nearby Alpha Centauri. So I'm already going to get a colony point in Alpha Centauri because I'm nearby, and you can see the nearby here. So that's one thing to bear in mind, is these two. If I build a colony in one, I'm now going to have a free colony point in the next one. Okay, so you can sort of build on yourself and get a little bit stronger if you're nearby other things. But remember, the nearby is 20 or less. Nothing else counts. So, so having a colony in Alpha Centauri is not going to help me in Wolf. Okay. All right. Provide end-of-game profit according to this table. And it literally is what it says. So if I build 4 colonies, I'm going to get 13 trillion as just a bonus at the end of the game. Okay? So now, when you do a colonize action, you can see up at the top there, it says requires no card to play. I'm looking right here. Eligible at a non-Sol star system where you have a base. So obviously you need a base there. And it's just like I told you, you got to do the sequence. So here's all the ways you get colony points. And remember, if you want to build that mega 6 colony one, which is the highest value one, you would need 6 colony points. So here's how you get them. Number 1, the discovery tiles will have colony points on them, and they're quite generous, by the way. A lot of discovery tiles have colony points on them. And of course, that's the luck of the draw. And some people I played this multiplayer with was a little leery about how lucky the game could be. But they ended up liking it. It was the guy who was watching us play that was less interested in it. You get 1 CP if you have a nearby colony. Remember, nearby means 20 or less, not just any old colony. If you build an industrial base, now the industrial base, remember, doubled our production value last time. It has a new use in the Starfarer era. And yes, if you build an industrial base, you get a colony point. Now, you can only build, or you can build as many industrial bases as you want, but you only get the benefit once. And here's what I mean by that. So there's 2 locations here. I can't put an industrial base on both of them and say I have 2 colony points for that. That's not allowed. I can build an industrial base here and get a college point, and build another industrial base there and get a point. I mean, I can get a point in each region, but I can't, you know, get more than 1 point from a region. That's what the rule is there. And it's on your player card, by the way. I know it doesn't say it here, but it does say it. And this is worded if there is an, like a singular. Okay, do you have 2 or more bases in the region? Yes. So first things first, this region is automatically going to have a colony point because I'm going to have 2 bases in it. Whereas Alpha Centauri is only ever going to have 1. So this is going to be harder to build a colony in than Wolf 1061, just from that perspective. Okay, you get a colony point if you're willing to remove your team from the game. So if you're willing to kill your cube, you can get a colony point. And then here's the next one. Remember I said you don't have to play cards, but maybe you want to? And so what this is saying is if you get 8 build points worth of cards, or 12 in a multi-star system. So this is where the single star versus multi-star comes in. You get +1 CP. If you're willing to just pay cold hard cash, you can spend 5 trillion to get a CP. That's quite pricey, by the way. And then last but not least, that adaptation card that I showed you up there gives us a colony point. So I know I spent, what, 22 minutes going over all this, but that's part of it. And once again, if somebody can help me see, once again, I'm seeing a blank, and I'm wondering, am I supposed to draw one and put one in there? The rules don't tell me to, so it's just a big mystery to me. Okay, one final thing before we get started. Let's go look at our contracts. First colony. Colony with 16 value. And what that is you just add the pips for your colonies that you build. So if you keep building the 3 pip colonies, it's going to take you a while. Bases in 4 non-adjacent regions. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. And remember, you don't get to count Sol. Bases in 3 multi-star regions. Okay, so that's another multi-star rule. 7 progress cards. I'm pretty confident we're not going to get it. He already has 5, and we only have 3. Non-start, so this is just the infra slots, just like before, on your tableau. And then bases in just 6 regions. So that can be pretty challenging too. So we started with 2 cards, and these are our 2 cards. Let me zoom back out. We have move 5 and build 3 on both of our cards. We got the same exact one twice, and I forgot to do the offer, so let's do that as well. So we have an explore 3, build 3, move times 3, explore 3, that's very useful. And this one is an infra upgrade, which is a lot of movement points. Okay, so we get some good ones there. And they go first. They always do. So nothing changes there. War, death, and taxes, and the AI turn. They always go first, and they always Nothing ever changes. All right, I think we're ready. So let's go ahead and get started. Wolf 1061. Okay, so you're going to find that this is going to be a lot like the other one, even though you have all this gobbledygook text. If there's no competition team, you place one there. See, it says it right here. If no competition team is present, place one there. So it's that simple. Now the one good news though is, look, if they're trying to go somewhere that we have a base, remember in the past you discarded the card and then you drew another one? Now their turn ends, so we can really screw them over if we get some bases going here. But that's not the case here. So they're going to get to go to Wolf 1061. Okay, one thing I can tell you, because even in my multiplayer game I ended up going there, that Lumen 16, and I'm going to zoom in on it, it looks attractive because it's got an exploration value of 4 and a build value of 8. It seems wonderful, but let me just tell you, it's a single star, and it only has 1 exploration point, and I spent the entire game unable to build a base there. It was just impossible, and it doesn't provide me any nearby bonuses, or it was just really, really hard. And based on the rules of how to get colony points, you want single stars, right? Because it's easier. You can use less build points to get a. You only need 8 build points in cards for single stars. So the double stars are harder. And I think that one is a single star. So nope, that's a double star. See, that one was hard. That's what's hard about that one. The extra tiles helps because the tiles give you colony points. So having more tiles is very beneficial. Having 2 or more bases automatically gives you a colony point. So even if the tiles don't give you a point, you get one automatically just for having 2 bases. So again, some areas are harder than others. So like I'm looking at this one's hard versus that one. Even though this is maybe 2 stars, that makes it a little bit harder. But so when you're planning your strategy, try to go after the regions that have a lot of exploration areas. Now, I had that right idea, and then I'll show you where I went in the multiplayer game. I went to Epsilon Indy. But look at those numbers. I need a 10 exploration and a 20 build value. And by the time I put my tiles on, I needed a 32 build value. It was awful. It is a fantastic place to go, though. But the exploration and build value is really high. So just beware with that one. Now, there's another one that's far more attractive. Epsilon Eridani. You get 3 tiles, and then look at that. The exploration is still 10, but the build is only 8. So it's a lot less than build of 20. And now, granted, you're only adjacent to one other system there called the Talseti system, whereas over here, you're adjacent to several systems, and they're nearby. But anyways, I don't want to spend all day analyzing the board, but that's just some things to throw out at you. And we're already on Alpha Centauri, and we just need 4 exploration, which we have. You can see we have 4 exploration right there. I would like to get more move points so I can go somewhere else. But if I want to go to that Epsilon Eridani that we were talking about, you can see I need 30, 50, 90 movement points. Actually 30, 60, 80 movement points. I got 30 here, and then I can go that way for 30 and that way for 20. I was originally going this way, which is more expensive. So, yeah, so it's our turn, and I think we're just going to use our natural explorer to explore Alpha Centauri, and then we're going to let our cards accumulate a little bit here. Looking at the offer, the one thing in the offer I want is that move times 3, and I think you understand why. You need the multipliers, but we're going to do Alpha Centauri, and we get to draw a primary. So this one's already messed up, so let's grab one of these. And we found an anomaly. So we get 2 trillion and 1 revolution. And then see, here's what I was talking about. our base cost now went up by 4. And that's pretty common, by the way. There's hardly any that reduce your base cost. Even if you discover all the tiles, it's one owner for all the tiles. And so we get 2 trillion and we get a revolution. And I said revolution. Revelation, sorry. Okay, so now that is a anomaly. And as far as bases go, it's not the most exciting one to get. An anomaly will not allow us to build a spaceport because it cannot be anomaly or dust. And I think anomalies are good for research. Research is the only place, in fact, that's good for anomalies. You can also do a attraction, and you'll get a P2 on the tile. I'm not super excited about that, but it is an option. And now it's his turn. So Epsilon Eridani, and that is bad news. He's already where we want to go. So he's going to Epsilon Eridani up there. Okay, so, oh, I forgot to draw my card at the end of the turn. And it looks like we're at least being consistent here. I want to go to Epsilon Eridani. I need a build of 8 for Alpha Centauri plus the 4 for the base. So I need 12 to build a base there. I have 6, and I can do 6 more to get to 12. So I really could build a base on Alpha Centauri. But for now, I think I'm going to do a research. And I want to get this move times 3 off the board. And I'm looking to see if there's anything else I want. And I think I'll take the explore and build. And these come on. Okay, so that's it, and we don't get to draw another card. So now it's their turn. Contract 6. So they're already gunning for the contracts here. So put this on contract 6. And we're going to try to move there. So we want to get, what did I say, 30? I need 80 movement to get there. And I am competing with the guy this time. I don't want to mess around. So we have 9 movement here. 5 plus 4 is 9. And basically, I have a times 3 multiplier. So what I like to do is I'm going to take like a calculator here and just do 80. That's where I want to be, and then divide it by 3. So I need to get 26 move points. Can I do that? I have 9, and this would be 19, and that's 24. That's not enough. So isn't that crazy? Times 3 is not enough. So I need more move points. So I'm going to look over here, and I'm going to do another research action. So I'm going to grab a move and a move. And these are both move 5s. So those are very helpful. And now the AI gets to go. AI has a huge advantage. It's going to be really hard for me to win this game. Okay, all offers. And then the little star symbol. So it's saying that revelation and genetics. So the revelation is a -1, the genetics is a +1. Well, we don't have to worry about that. These are all starter cards. The good news for us is getting rid of starter cards is actually a good thing because the starter cards aren't as good as the other ones. So there's a move times 3. Oh, crap. He got an edge card. And another edge card. Oh, come on. I'm getting a little cantankerous. All right. It's hack and market influence. Hack. Discard all research cards from your hand and the offer boxes. All right, well, that's not an issue. So that didn't hurt us. Market influence. The competition gains 2 trillion. So he just gets 2 trillion for doing nothing. All right, so now we're going to draw 2 more. There's a research and a revelation, which is good, and an explore 4. Okay, so it's back to us, and I can spend a whole lot of my move cards. I have 7 cards exactly, so I can do another research action and then finally get enough move built up. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take the move times 3 and the revelation before he gets rid of that card, because this revelation will help us. And of course the move times 3 along with this other move times 3, now I'm at move times 9, and I can spend less cards. So I know I delayed myself by a turn, but I still want to do that. So here's the first card going. Oh, it's a genetics. Crap. And the next one. Oh, move times 4. There's so many good cards. So little time. All offers. And then the research is what he scores on. So we just lost that genetic and move times 4 card. And what's crazy is look at how quickly we're going through these cards. All right, so here's what's on the offer now, and those top 2 cards are the ones I want. See, look, I can put them in my infra, and I get a move times 2 and a build 4. That's amazing, and that's way better than this build 3, build 2. And I already have radiation shielding, so I don't need this anymore for the radiation shielding. And then this one's an explore 3 or build 4, which is also really good. All those cards are awesome, but right now we're going to do our move. So I have 2 times 3s, so that's going to be a times 9. So once again, getting out the calculator, I need 80. So I'm going to divide it by 9. So I need 8 movement points then. So right here, 9 times the 9, I just spend these 2 cards and I have enough. So I know it seemed like overkill, but it'll be nice to have all those cards still in our hand. Now we go to here, remember, so it's going to take us forever. We need the AI to never go back there again. So let's see what happens. Talseti, which is right next to where they were. So we're going to grab a cube, and I'll show you where that is. It's this one right here. Okay, so it's our turn. And we move this down 1. At the beginning of your turn is when you do that. And so now I want to build, I either have to move again, which I don't think I have the move points for. I could do a research action to start building up my tableau. But what I'm going to do is, oh crap, I am going to do a research action. So I'm going to take this explore 3 build 4 and this move 2 build 4. So I'm taking both of those, and got a build 3, build 2 going out, and we have an explore 3, produce 1. The produce cards in multiplayer games in particular are very valuable because you just get raw points, and people do hoard those. So bear that in mind. So now it's their turn. Groom Bridge 34, and by the way, this is one of those time cards. In a multiplayer game, you can double one of your values, or the whole action. You can double the entire thing, or you can use whatever your total value is and move 2 teams at once. So that was a big revelation for me, pun intended, because revelations are in the game. This was how I knew I couldn't move 2 teams at once without this card. And so my original playthrough video was crap. But anyways, Groom Bridge 34 is where they're going. So Groom Bridge 34, we will grab a cube, and I think it's this one right here. Okay, so it's our turn, and I'm going to upgrade. Oh, it's our turn, so that means this moves down. I'm going to upgrade this card to here. So now we have a move times 2 always, which is very helpful. And we have a build 4 now instead of this build 3, build 2. So it's just superior in every way. And bear with me, I'm just discarding the card to the proper deck. So now it's their turn. A, S, C, and all offers. So this is why I did the research as quickly as I did, because I knew we were going to possibly lose things, and we are. And so they're getting rid of an adaptation, the Star Children one. So they're up to 6 now. He gets $1 trillion for that. And all the offers are gone. And it just says it's this key here. And none of them have that. And we don't want an edge card. First card. Second card. Third card. Fourth card. Okay, so it's our turn again. We are now on the star. And I need 10 exploration so I can beat him to the exploration punch. And here you can see I have 4. And what I should have done is I should have upgraded this. I really should have, because I would have had 3. Yeah, I screwed that up. But if you'll notice, I don't have enough exploration. There's 4 here, and I can make it 7. So do I want to spend $3 trillion to beat him? A part of me says yes. I need, how much do I need to build a base? I need 12 to build a base in Alpha Centauri. So I have 7 there, and I would need 5 more, which is just 2 of these cards. What would I build there at Alpha Centauri? I'd probably build a research lab. Oh, this is a tough choice. I'm going to upgrade with this. So should I put it here and get rid of the move 4? Or should I do it there, which is just a superior card over the one that's already there? Tough choice. I'm going to do this. Because the build value is nice. I don't think there's a build ×2 card. The 4 movement is very nice. Oh, I could always put this one on. I'm just going to upgrade this one. Like so. Prepare us for getting a little bit closer to... I need 10 exploration to be able to conquer that. And so that'll get me to 5. And his turn is... Look, he's getting rid of all offers again. And then ASC. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. Okay, so here was my mistake. I don't know if any of you are screaming at me. This one says ASC, and then see there's a little asterisk next to it. What that's saying is that, do you have all the prerequisites? And if you don't, then you don't get to do it. And the Star Children prerequisite is you have to have any 2 breakthroughs. Oh, never mind, we have the prerequisite. And then this one here says that he gets to take that card, but he doesn't get to take both of them. So this one we skip, and then the all offers thing happens again. So we're gonna come back over here, and we're losing all 4 cards. And yes, we're flying through the deck, because he does this a lot, where he just gets rid of the entire offer. So we have a genetics, which we love. We have an edge card, which we don't love. Another edge card, which we don't love. Okay, and we do them in order. So the first one is competition, the other one's incompatible. Competition, we lose 2 trillion, and incompatible. If your headquarters contains any infra cards from a previous era, remove the highest numbered one. So basically we're losing this, which hurts us because we were going to use that to do our explore action this turn. So that screwed us hard. I don't even have enough to do the explore action now. So I'm looking on the board, and look here, there's a Move 6 Explore 2, and we get to add it to our tableau. I'm going to do a research action. Can I do it? 4, 7, yes I can. I can take 2, and I'm going to take genetics. And okay, but we wasted another turn yet again. 61 Cygni is here. Now it's our turn, and we're going to do this. We're putting this on our tableau. And if you'll notice, we have all 3 of them now upgraded. So we actually completed a contract doing all this delaying nonsense, and we kicked the cube out. And that gives us 2 trillion. All right, so now it's their turn. Talseti. Okay, so he's going to get to do some stuff now. All right. If you have a base there, no. If the competition is a colony there, no. If no competition team is present, no. Does he have both a team and a base? No. Let me zoom in for you here. If the competition is a team present but no base and all exploration boxes contain discovery tile, no. Does he have a team present but no base and all exploration boxes contain discovery tiles? No. Is the competition team present and 1 or more explore boxes are empty? Yes. And the explore cost is 7 or 10. The explore cost is 7. Yes. It places discovery tiles. So all that just to say he's getting discovery tiles. So he's getting a primary. Oh, that was a good one. And he's getting a secondary. All right, so this one gives him a trillion. So we're going to move him up. And that one is what I mean by a colony point. I don't know how well you can see that, but see, it says colony 1, so he gets a colony point. If we would have gotten that, that gives you a genetics of 1. That would have been amazing, but he owns those. And I know it hasn't come up in this game, but if I build a base where he has a discovery tile owned by him, he gets 2 trillion. And I think I explained that rule, but I tend to avoid that because it's so risky trying to go somewhere where he's already got tiles. Because if he draws that card before you get there, then you wasted your movement for nothing. Okay, it's our turn, and we have 5 Explore, and then this is 8, and I'm going to spend 2 trillion to make it 10, and we're going to do that Epsilon Eridani before it's too late. So that's this one up there. So we're going to do a primary and 2 secondaries. So I'm going to grab this one for the primary. It says discard this tile and draw an alien tile. Ooh. Okay, these can be really good, or they can be really bad. These are high risk, high reward ones. Let's see what we get. We got a really good one. Yeah, we get 2 trillion. We get a genetics. So boom, we get a genetic breakthrough, and we get 2 revelation. Yes, I keep saying revolution. And then 2, we're going to get to take an adaptation and a breakthrough. Sweet. Yes. And that was all from just this one. Now we get 2 more. Let's do this one for secondary. Oh, that's a crappy one, but it's a P2, so I mean, it'll make you good money. And, oh no, lose 2 trillion. All right, well, there's water and 1 colony point. So all 3 of those, and we only get 1 colony point out of all 3 of those. That's pretty low, but we did find water, which I guess is something. Okay, but let's get our breakthroughs. There is so much to choose from. It's not even funny, but that move times 4 is pretty darn awesome. So for our breakthrough, we're going to take this one, which is a prerequisite. You have to have this to get that. We get 2 trillion for it, and we get a free move. So there's nothing to whine about there. And we get to move this one somewhere, so I'm going to move it. I'm going to take the other big one, even though that's really hard to do, the Epsilon Indy. And then we get an adaptation. So The Star Children is nice, and I could do that, and we could get a 4th team out there. And by the way, you place that 4th team anywhere on the board. So it's nothing to complain about. This double base thing is nice, but I'm doing this one. The colony point is huge. Getting a free colony point is very, very helpful. And so we get another trillion for that. And we're cooking with Pam right now, and Pam enjoys it. Okay, so we were able to do the Explorer, and now it's his turn. And I'm just reaching off camera here to put my cube on to show that those discovery tiles belong to us. The aliens, by the way, don't do anything else in the game. So whatever the symbols are on there is all you need to know. So those aliens are giving us water, and there's microbes, and we were able to get all these technological advances because of, you know, them sharing knowledge with us. Okay, 61 Cygni. I know he's there. So this is just like before. He's going to discover the tiles. So let's do this one. And here you see he gets 2 trillion. So every time we gain on him, he just gains it right back. And then the secondary, oh, those were both really nice. We could have really enjoyed those. It's being wasted. Wasted on worthlessness. Okay, so he's got his discovery tiles in place. Now, one thing I was going a little too hasty. It does something different if the Explorer value was not 7. If it was 4, he would discover the tiles and build the bases all in one turn. So you got to be mindful that Explorer value makes a difference. All right, so now it's to us, and I want to build a base, and I was planning on building this base in Alpha Centauri, but I'm going to go after that Eridani one, and let's kick him out of there. So the Eridani one, you can see, has a build value of 8, and we miraculously didn't get any pluses on all 3, so that part's cool. So we just need 8. Well, guess what? I have 8 right there. So we're building bases, baby. So on the first one, I'm building a biolab so I can get a genetics bump. We're going to do that right now. Okay, and then on the second one, it's got a P2, so I'm definitely building a refinery there so I can get a P3 out of it. And then the third one has water on it, so I'm building an industrial base so we can get a free colony point. Okay, so, and then he gets kicked out. So, well done, Team Awesome. 1 point for the good guys. Highest even site. Okay, so let's look to see what they got. This is a 7, a 3, a 12. That's the highest so far. A 9 and an 8. So the 12 is the highest. The Explorer value is 7. So he's getting 2 trillion again. And 1 trillion. And he's getting stuff that we would love to get. Oh, that bum. Okay, now it's to us. Okay, we could build a colony, or like you see there, we can wait on the colony because he can't come in and steal it from us. So that's something we can do later. What I'm thinking I want to do is that Epsilon Indy. I want to get that explored. So you can see Epsilon Indy there has an exploration of 10. And we have 5 here. Oh, we don't have any more. Never mind. There's a 4 out there that I can take if I do a research action. I don't know if I want to. Okay, let's see. Maybe we should do... We can do another base, or we can do a colony. Let's do the colony. Let's see how many colony points we would get. So, first one. Discovery tiles on the region. And right there, you can see it says colony 1, so we get 1 point there. Do we have a colony nearby? No. Is there an industrial base? Yes, so that's 2. Is there 2 or more bases? Yes, we have 3 in fact. So that's 3. Are we willing to remove a team? No, we're not. Are we willing to do, it's a single star, so we just need 8 build. Well, guess what? I got 8 build there, sucker. So 4. Are we willing to spend 5 trillion? No, no, we're not. And do I have an enviro tolerance card? Yes, I do. So we got 5 points. That's pretty awesome. So I can't take this one, which is 6. This is 4. Gain 1 for every secure base. Don't want that yet. This one's 5. At the end of the era, claim any 1 unfulfilled contract. That might actually, well, that's probably going to be worth 3 or 4. At the end of the era, gain 1 for every star system without a colony. That might also be helpful. This one we don't want. These are just crappy plain ones. This one's only 4. Whenever you colonize, including this one, gain a trillion. That's okay. And those other 2 are 6. So I'm thinking it's between this one and that one. And I like the unfulfilled contract idea. So we're going to do that. And boom. We got ourselves a colony. All right. So we need to get a starbase up so I can do a free transport and get my guy out of there. But it is now his turn. Glice 1. I've never seen anybody go to this one. Yep, it's way up there. So this one's all the way up there. Now it's to us. What do we do? I'm thinking we're going to build that. Okay, so the advantage of being there is, notice how Tau Ceti has a colony value. It's nearby. See the 20 there, and it has the word nearby on it? That's awesome, except the discovery tiles are his. And so if we go over there and build a base, we could steal it from him because he hasn't built a base there yet. The base cost is 6, and then this tile says +4. Let me zoom out. Yeah, so that tile says +4, so that's a 10. It would cost us 10 build to go there. That's not too bad. We have 8 build just in our tableau. He would get 2 trillion from us, so we're giving him a profit. But we would get a colony point because we're next to that. And we get another colony point from the tile, as you can see. But I'm not going to be able to build an industrial base, so, you know, I'll have basically 3 colony points. Actually, a 4th one, because I'll have 2 bases there. So I'd be able to get a 4 colony thing, and it's only 20 away, so I could move there, and 20 is not that bad of a move. So that's doable. The other thing is to try to get this explored, the other epsilon in D, and that means I need to grab that explore tile. I don't know what the priority should be. I mean, on one hand, you want to get over there and get that built, because otherwise, if he gets it done, then you're wasting your move. On the other hand, he could just do an offer all and then clear that board. But I'm going to do the move, and here's why. It's going to take us 4 turns before we can do anything there. So this is a 5, and that's a 6, so that's 11 times 2 is 22. And so anyways, we're at 22, and that's more than enough to get the move in. And I forgot we have to timer this down, so that's what made me decide to do that. Okay, his turn. Highest odd site. Ooh. 7. No. 9. So we just went to move somewhere, and he's going to build there. That punk. All right, he's building a base, industrial, and biolab. And I can tell you right now, neither of those fit, because industrial needs water, and the biolab. Now, it's funny, because the biolab would have worked on the first one, but that's not the order I drew them. So we wasted a move action, and we're going to end up moving there, and we're going to get stuck. Not good. Okay, so it's our turn. That's going to tick down, and I think we just need to go after the Explorer then. Or we could do a build, but I'm going to go for the Explorer. And I'll just take whatever's on the top of the deck. Well, that's not bad. And of course the Explorer comes out now. Dang it. All right, it's his turn. That Glice thing again. So he's going to build a primary there. And Precious Dust. That's actually a crappy one. So we got lucky there. And now it's our turn. Do we have enough Explorer now? I have 4, 7, 9. We're going to spend 1 trillion, which is moving the wrong direction. But we'll spend 1. So this is 5, this is 4, and we will spend 1 for the 10th one. And discard this card, and we're going to get a primary and 2 secondaries. So let's hope that this counts. There we go. We get a trillion. So move that back up. We get a genetics, which is awesome. And it's going to count as a colony point. So then 2 secondaries. Let's just finish this off. There we go. 2 trillion. We get a revelation. Oh, that it hurts. And then the last one, 2 trillion more. And another colony point, which is good. And so, see, the base cost is +4 and +4, so this is a +8. So now it would cost me 28 to build a base there. But we might be able to pull it off. I have a lot of production points, as you may have noticed, and we're going to try for it. Okay, it's his turn. Epsilon Indy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So he's going to where we are. So he's putting the pressure on us. Even though we have to do 28 points, he just gets to draw a card and me. So we don't like that. He's moving up. And so I need 28 points. Let's see if I can do it. I have 8, 13, 15, 18, 21. I don't have enough. I need more power. Okay, so you can see here we're 1 away on the genetics, so I'm just going to do a genetics action then, and let's get another adaptation. So we can do the hybrids there. That gives us 1 trillion, and then we can build 2 bases on every primary. That's semi-useful. I'm noticing we didn't actually take a build 3 yet, so we can do that to get 3 more build. And then this one is interesting because when we draw a primary, we actually get to draw 2 and pick which one we're going to keep. Or it's the Star Children. That's all there is. I mean, we have everything else. So we got basically 4 choices. I honestly don't know which one's the right one, but I'm thinking the build 3 is helping us towards our problem that we currently have. So we're going to do that. I was tempted to take the adaptation because that's the only one that pays us. I mean, we actually get paid with that one, and we are losing the game pretty badly. It's only 1 trillion, but it's better than nothing. But you know what? I'm going to take the build 3 because I keep paying to deal with the fact that I'm short. So I'm going to do that, and let's see how this turns out. 61 Cygni is... Ooh, they're going to build bases. Let me make sure. Competition team is team present, but no base, and all explore tiles. And the site's explore cost is 4 or 7. Place bases, then a colony. So it's going to get both. He's a punk. All right, so here's the first one. Let's get the camera over here. He's building a spaceport and a research lab. Okay, so for him, the spaceport discovery tile is neither, okay. If the competition has a colony in a region that is adjacent to an Orion spur site containing no teams, then he gets to go into the spur. Well, he doesn't have that, so we're okay there. The research lab, if you have more profit than the competition, it gains 1. Well, that's not happening. So we're okay with both of those, but now he gets a colony. So the site number is 7, and I'm pretty sure that's where his colony is going to be. Select and place the colony marker with the selector number closest to that listed in the site. Yep. And then you go lower if tied. So his site number is 7. So we're looking for a colony with the number 7, and it's exactly this one. So he doesn't get any of the bonuses that come with the colony. He just takes the colony, and that's his. And the base in this cube goes away. So that's just his colony now, and it'll count towards stuff for him. Oh, we built the first colony, didn't we? So that means we actually got a contract here for 1, 2, 3. My apologies. Okay, so now it's to us, and this finally gets to here. So we have 8, 11, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I need 28, so if I'm willing to spend 3 trillion, I can build bases there. I'm not willing to spend 3 trillion, so maybe I am. Well, actually, I have 7 cards here, so I'm going to take this for the build 5, and then I'm going to take the revelation. So all right, so now it's his turn. Epsilon Eridani, that's where we are. And the rules say that if we have bases there, we can say, see ya, sucker. So he loses his turn. Nothing happens. All right, so now it's to us. And I think we have enough production now. So 8, 11, 21, 24, 27, and then I can either spend 1 trillion or I can spend this. I honestly don't know. I'm going to spend the 1 trillion. I think holding onto that card. Well, nope, I'm not spending the 1 trillion. We're losing, and this will allow me to draw another card because I'm down to 4 cards. So all these cards are going away. I was finally able to come up with, this is actually an amazing feat, what I just pulled off. But I'm going to do a biolab here. I'm doing an industrial base here. And then this one, it's an ancient ruins. So we could do this for a P2. But I'm going to do a research lab so we can get another revelation marker. So we're going to put a research lab there, and then this will go up 1 to there. And you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a spaceport instead, because we got to get our cube out of there. Okay, so I moved it back. All right, so now we only have 4 cards in our hands. We get to draw 1, and I got to build 5. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, we got our base there, so we kick his cube out, and now it's his turn. So BET and all offers. So it's a breakthrough, and he's getting rid of the entangled transmitter. And you'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He just completed this, so he gets 4 trillion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever we do, we just can't catch him. And all of our offers go away. And he's looking for the produce action, and he actually has one. So the rich only get richer, and he gets yet another production, or another trillion. So we have this, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, it's our turn, and I think so. It says I can have bases in 6 regions, which I'm nowhere close to. Bases in 3 multi-star regions. I have bases in 1. I could get a second one in Alpha Centauri, but it's still not 3. Bases in 4 non-adjacent regions. I only have bases in 2. And then colonies with at least 16 value. I have 5. So I'm nowhere close on any of those. I think I want to build a colony. No, I'm going to do this. I have 2 revelation cards, so I'm going to spend both of those. And unfortunately, he completed the contract 1 turn before I could, because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what I was shooting for. But I get 2 trillion for taking this. And that's a move times 4. That's permanent. So I get 2 trillion for that and a move times 4. You just can't beat that. And other than it's a move times 5. And of course I draw another one. They're more efficient if you can, spend them all at once, because I could have actually spent a trillion and gotten another revelation. I'm just not sure I'm in a rush to spend money anymore on that. I would for an adaptation, but not a revelation. A breakthrough, I mean. So it's his turn. So right here you can see BET and all offers. So he already took the ET, so nothing happens there, but all offers goes away. So he's speeding up the end game because he's winning and he wants it done. He wants his prize. All right, there's some nice genetics coming out. Oh my gosh, there's 3 of them with genetics. We have 4 cards. I have to do it. I'm going to take a research action. I wish I actually had a research card so I can get more. That's where that breakthrough would have helped. But I'm going to take both of these. And there's a revelation and an explorer. The good news is these edges don't hurt me when they're out here. They could help me if I take them, but I don't have them. So it's his turn now, and it's Wolf 1061. So Wolf 1061, he has discovered already. So he's going to place bases and a colony. So he's being a jerk again. So the first one is a security base, and then a security base. So let's see what happens with those. Security bases. If you have fewer security bases than a competition, you lose 1. And no, because every base we have is a security base, so we have a whole bunch. Not happening there. But he gets a colony, and this is what hurts us. So it's a 12. So we come over here and we find whichever one's closest to 12. And if nothing's closest, you go down. So he's getting this 9 here on 1061. And his cube comes back. All right, so it's our turn. I'm going to let's build a colony. Okay, so discovery tiles, right here, colony 1. Colony 1. So we actually get 2 from our tiles. No nearby colony. Industrial base, yes. So that's 3. Are there 2 or more bases? Yes, that's 4. I'm not willing to remove a team. I have a build value of 11. Do I really want to spend that build 5? Well, let me just see. I have 4, and then the card would get me 5. So, but if I want a 6-pointer, he actually has 2 of the 6.1, so he actually has 12 points worth of stuff. I'll spend it so I can get 6-point colony, and I'm going to take this one, and we'll put it here. And what that says is I get 1 for every 2 adaptations in play. So here's 1 point, here's 2 points, and then 3 points and 4, because I get to count his cards too. So I just got 4 trillion for that. So I'll take that. All right, and now it's his turn. So BIT and all offers again. So, and he's looking for research. So BIT is the infra transfer. So that punk took the only one that still had a profit on it, and he gets 2 trillion for that. And there is a research here. So he's getting another trillion for that. And all of these go away. There's 2 revelations. And there's another one of those nice genetic 2s. Okay, so it's my turn, and I'm going to take the genetic 2 for sure. And I'm going to take the revelation. Why not? I probably should have taken the build, but... Okay, his turn. Captain Star. That's a new one. So I think that's here. Yep. So it's to us. And look at this nonsense. We have 2, 4, 5 genetic points. And that would take me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll spend 1 trillion to make it 6. So we're going to get 2 more adaptations. And I'm going to take Star Children for sure. And we're going to go after this so I can pay for that 1 trillion I just took. So that, and then the Star Children lets me put this out. Now there's a couple of things. First of all, I want to get to the Orion Spur, but that means I have to have a colony next to it like he does. The other thing is, this colony gives me a point here and there. I have colony points in both of those places now. And so the best location for me to start building is here. So I'm going to actually go and compete with that punk right there. And I know he's got the discovery tile, but we're going to go in and steal it from him. Or at least we're going to try. Okay, so it's his turn. Lacau 9352. That's a new one. So he's going out to here. Now it's our turn. And to build a base, it's a 6 plus 4, so we need 10. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to build a base. Unfortunately, we just gave him 2 trillion for doing that. But we're going to build a base here on this precious dust. And I'm going to build... I can't do a spaceport, The only thing I can build is a research lab. There's no other option, in fact. So we'll build a research lab there, and that does give us another genetics. Or no, that gives us a revelation. And yeah, that's that. So we only have 4 cards, so we get to draw one. So now it's his turn. Alpha Centauri. We have... Oh, no! We don't have a base there. So if no competition team is... Okay, so he's just going to move a competition team there. So we have to build a base there, or possibly lose it. I'm not super excited about getting a base there. I want to get that the Ryan Spur thing going. So let's get another colony. So we have 1 colony point from our card. We know that. We have 1 colony point from this. We know that. That's 2. So it's a single star. So we have another colony point because we have 8 build value. So that's 3. So we already know we have enough to build a colony. So is there any other... There's no other bonuses we're getting. So we can take just this crappy 3 colony, which is fine, and put it here. And that means we have now 6 and 5 is 11. That's 14. So we don't have bases in 3 multi-star regions. We don't have bases in 6 regions. We don't have bases in 4 non-adjacent regions. And we don't have colonies with 16 value, but we're getting so close. Okay, so that ends our turn. We have 5 cards in our hand, so we don't draw anything. So it's his turn. He's taking adaptation, HY, and all offers, and he's going to get paid for the globe or the edge cards. So adaptation, HY, is the hybrids. So we robbed him from the profit there, and he is taking all the cards. And of course he draws an edge. What punk wouldn't draw an edge? He draws another edge. All right, sabotage and divert. Choose one of your teams at a site without a base, if any. Relocate it to a site with one of your bases. Oh, that's actually helping us. So this one has no base. Hold on a second. It doesn't say my base, it says any base. So that doesn't count. This is the one. We lose this one. Holy cow, we lost Alpha Centauri. And we have to move it to a site with one of our bases. Well, I don't mind that. We can move it to the spaceport here. So that's no problem. All right, and then the other one was divert. Discard all produce cards from your hand, and I happen to have one, so that really stunk, because we were actually going to get a breakthrough. Oh, come on. Let's just don't get a break in this game. All right, so... Okay, it's our turn. We need 2 more colony value. We're definitely moving. So now the question is where are we moving? And I have, this is a times 8, and this is 11. So that's 88 movement points just with my tableau, which is amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one here and move it to there, because we're going to fight for this Lakai 9352 and get another colony built. I also want to move here. I just want to get 4 colonies going. And the Alpha Centauri thing stinks, but I don't think we were going to build there. The multi-star thing is where it stinks, because we could have gotten credit towards the multi-star thing. Epsilon Eridani. We can tell him to stick it, because we already got a base there, punk. So be gone, shoo. All right, so now it's our turn, and we're going to explore at this Lakai 9352. We only need 4 Explorer points, and we have 5. So easy peasy. And we now have, oh, we don't have that. So we're going to draw a primary. And we get 1 revelation. So that moves up 1 more. And we have 4 cards in our hand, so we're drawing. Now it's his turn. Contract 6. We already did contract 6. So does he end his turn? We have to draw another one. So he gets another card, and it's Wolf 1061. Wolf 1061 already has a, it's already decked out. If the competition has a colony there, discard the card and end the turn. Yes, baby. Okay, so now we build a base. Lakai 9352 is a build of 4, and there's no plus there, and we have 4 points easy. So we're going to build a base there. It's a P2 location. I don't think it matters what our base is going to be, but I'm going to build a research lab. It gives us a revelation, so now we made a breakthrough. And I'm going to take this one because it gives us 2 trillion. So we need it because we got to catch this guy. So we just got 2 trillion and we kick him out. And I'm trying to get another colony going. And I have a base in 1, 2, 3, 4 locations. It has to be 4 non-adjacent regions, and I don't have that. And I don't have a base in 3 multi-star regions, so that doesn't... Man, I'm just not getting it. Groombridge 34. He's there. And 1 or more Explorer boxes are empty, and Explorer cost is 4, which is this case. It places Discovery tile, then base, then colony. Boom, boom, and boom. And this is going to kill us. Oh my goodness, folks. We're going to lose because of this. That just upsets me so much. So he's going to get 2 trillion from that, which is like a perfect draw. Then he's going to put a base there. But it's the colony that's going to kill us. It's a biolab. So guess what? That's a perfect match for him. The biolab gives him 2 more trillion. So hey, why not give him more of a lead? But then the colony is what's going to get us. It's a 3. So he takes this colony, which has 4 pips on it. So he has 6 pips here. 12 and 4 is 16. So guess what? Bing, bing, bing. 4, 6, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it is 1 freaking turn before we were going to do it. We lost. I cannot catch him. That is the death blow. I was hoping to get that myself. If he would have just taken a colony tile that had a different pip number. I'm very defeated right now. This, I was gunning for him. I really, really was. And this is not gonna fly it for me. I have 1, 2, 3 bases with 14 value on them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a move from the star base, and our starport lets us double a card. We can take any 1 card and double it. So what I would do is I'm going to take this 6 and make it a 12, and then that's a 17, and then this is times 6. So 17 times 6 is 102 movement. I don't think that's enough. So here you can see I need 120. And what I'm trying to do is go from that star base to the Orion spur. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add one of these to the mix, which this would be multiplied by 8. That's adding 40. So I have more than enough if I do that. And so this guy is going to exit the game, and we're going to get 5 trillion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is just over half of what he just scored, because he's a punk. And we have 4 cards, so we draw 1, and we get that. So now it's his turn. AET and all offers. So he's getting rid of a card that's already been gone, and he's clearing our deck, and he gets another trillion, because why not? Let's give him more. 1, 2. You know what's funny? All these genetic cards are coming out, and I don't want genetic cards anymore. I don't think they help us. We have everything except for that sensory focus, and I'm not sure it's all that useful now. Okay, so I'm switching gears, and I'm looking at my bases again. And I'm going to do a produce 4. Okay, so produce 4. I'm going to get 3 trillion from this. And 3 trillion from that, so that's 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. So there you go, 10 trillion for us. And I need more produce cards. So we're going to just produce as much points as we can. And there we go, we got another one. So good, that's 3 trillion right there. All right, so he's doing BJD and all offers. So I think he has JD as the jump drive. And yes, he has it. So he takes that card and all the offers go away again. And he has an edge card right here. So he gets another trillion. And he just triggered the end game. So when this happens, the cards are gone. He doesn't get to take any more of his turn. We immediately get one more turn, and then the game's over. So I can do a produce action, which will make 3 trillion, because I can only do 3 trillion on one spot. Or, as you can see, I have 3 colonies. And I'll get 5 trillion if I can get a 4th colony. And so that's what I'm going to do. So this Lakai one that's here, it's going to get a colony point because it's nearby the other colony. So we get 1 for that. We have 1 because of our environment tolerance card. So that's 2. And then it's just a single star, and we have 8 build points. So we at least have 3 colony points for that. Okay, I'm willing to destroy the team because it's the last turn of the game. So that'll get us to 4 colony points. And let's see what we can get for 4. Whenever you colonize, including this one, gain 1. Gain 1 for every 2 competing colonies in play. He has 3 of them. That's not a lot. So we'd get 1. This one is worth 1, 2, 3. That one's worth 5. So can I get 1 more somehow? We had a nearby colony. We removed a team. We had the build points. We had the card. I would have to pay 5 trillion. And then what this one does is it gives me 1 trillion for every star system without a colony. Okay, well, if you look at this, the game's ending. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them without a colony. So I'm going to get 7 trillion if I can take that one. The problem is I have to spend 5 trillion to do it, but I will. So I'm just going to give myself 2 more trillion, and I'll take this one. And boom, we have another colony. And that's it. So we're now at the end. I thought one of our bases, yes, we get to claim a contract. So we're going to claim this contract for 1, 2, 3, 4. And that was because we had this base right here. This one. Okay, so that one, if you remember, at the end of the era, claim any one unfulfilled contract. So we took 4 trillion for that. So let's get the rule book out. The end game is really going to just be this table right here. That's it. But let's see what we come up with. Oh, never mind. We have to do an era end first. So do you remember what that is? That's when the end of era, so we do this thing. The only thing that's of use is that he gets 1 production action. So we have to go find his best production action. This is 0, 0, 0, 0. That's a 2. That's a 2. And that's a 1. So he's going to get 2 trillion. Okay? So now, when Starfarers ends, you, never the competition, gain additional profit based on this table. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We only built 4? Yes, we only built 4. Dang it. I thought we had, oh no, 4 was enough. We get 13 trillion. So look at this nonsense. 1, 2, 3, and 10. We're 5 points ahead of him. And if we would have gotten 11 or more, we get domination. We were 1 or 10 more, so we win with a narrow lead over a crowded market. But the key things, folks, is we won. I did not think we were going to win. But, okay, so the key things. Don't ever devalue a produce action. And I did intentionally do it. I know I didn't talk about it much, but I was saving them up. So when I did a produce action, I could do multiple tiles all at once. Because if you play this by itself, you're just getting 3 trillion, and that wastes a whole action. But if you have like 3 of these, then you're getting a produce 3, and now you're getting like 9 trillion, or whatever it is you can get out of 3 tiles. So it's very powerful. And if you'll notice, I was saving these up and trying to spend them all at once as well. You could also spend 1 trillion to add. So if I had 2 produce actions, I could have spent 1 trillion to make it a produce 3. Yes, I know I'm losing some of my profit, but maybe that third one is giving me 3 trillion, so I'm spending 1 to get 2. So anyways, I think that was huge because I got 10 trillion out of that. Had we reached 16 colony points before him, he would have lost 9 trillion and we would have gone up 9 trillion and we would have won this game with dominating fashion. So that one thing prevented us from dominating him. That produce action gave me 10 trillion, which was huge. That colony that gave me the contract for 4 trillion was huge. I mean, because otherwise we'd have been just right here. Heck, even the other colony that I spent 5 trillion in order to get 7, right? Had I not done that, I would have lost. So there's a couple of really cool things we pulled off at the very late stage. Some of it is taking these little profits actually did add up. So there you have it. That's a game of Starfarers. This was actually a thrilling finish. I had a lot of anguish, and I still do in some ways. He had a lead on us, and we gained on him. The last time I played, and I was cheating, mind you. I was actually moving multiple teams because I was misinterpreting the rule. I had a huge lead coming into this era, and then he passed me up. So the fact that this time around we gained on him, I think some of it was just luck. I mean, if you'll notice, he had a lot of cubes out here, but he never got the same draw twice, at least not until the end. But well done. I've played D-Day at Omaha Beach, and only I've never played the extended version, only the first version. And I really do love that game, but it intimidates me because I always forget the dang rules. And the rule book is not quite as good as this in terms of giving me an easy way to look up, okay, what happens in this situation. But I really admire the genius behind this game. Is this the funnest game I've ever played? No. One of the funnest games I've ever played is Madeira. And I know that's not a solo game, although I think there are solo rules that were fan-made. And Panamax would be up near there. And 18OE, which you've seen me do 2 insane videos on. But Madeira is my favorite game of all time, I think. And those 2 designers, I think they're from Portugal. They just make amazing games that trigger everything that I love. They have a new one called Brazil coming out, and I'm already instantly buying that. They're one of the designers. But what I'm trying to get at here is that Butterfield is close. And it's largely because what I like about his games is he incorporates solitaire. And so here's what I hate about some solitaire games. So I'm going to pick on, I own the game. What's it called? Oh, I don't have it in here. It's the Awakening the Bear. It's not called Close Combat. It begins with a C. But anyways, I don't like that one because when I take my turn, it takes 10 seconds to take my turn and then I'm done. Then I go and I draw the AI card, and after maybe 10 minutes, I'm done with the AI. Then it's 10 seconds for my turn, and then it's 10 minutes for the AI. And if I'm spending more time on the AI than I am on my turn, that's not a fun game for me. And it's not that the game's not challenging and those kind of things, and it's just that the AI is too much. And I do think that way about coin games sometimes. The AI flowcharts are just too much. I do enjoy it though, especially if somebody else is willing to do the flowchart for me. The other one that I think the AI can be really cumbersome is Sword and Sorcery. I love dungeon romping games, and Sword and Sorcery has so many fiddly AI steps, and it discourages me from ever finishing that campaign. I know I'm bouncing around, but what I'm trying to say about this one is that the Spacecorp, I draw a card, Lakai 8760, I check 1, 2, 3, I do it, and I'm done. I mean, I'm spending the game playing it, not figuring out what the AI is going to do. And that's the brilliance of it. And even with D-Day Omaha Beach, yeah, sometimes you have to figure out, okay, he's shooting from brown and it's going to hit this one and this one. There is a little bit of figuring out, but even that's brilliant. And the way the dots work on the board, brilliant. So anyways, I like it. And I like it a lot. And for a GMT game, this rulebook is amazing. GMT, you don't always make good rulebooks. And I know people are going to post and tell me how I'm wrong. And I'm just going to tell you, you smoke pot. That's all I'm going to say. A rulebook that does not have the objective at the start of the rulebook, and I have to flip to page 90 just to see what the objective of the game is not a good rulebook. And if you're going to sit there and argue with me and say that it is, then go take a technical writing class, because it's an epic failure as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, I'm getting high blood pressure just thinking about the people who've talked to me and told me about this. Anyways, thank you. I appreciate it. Stay awesome. Even if you think all GMT rulebooks are good, you can still stay awesome. I have grace and mercy. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I'm going to be doing this game again. I enjoy this a lot. This is a good one. Especially from a solitaire perspective. This is a fantastic solitaire game. It has so much going for it. And the fact that this AI was beating us the whole game and we pulled off just a marginal victory at the end was overwhelmingly positive. you know, I wanted to dominate him, of course, but the fact that we pulled this off was awesome. And the genetics thing I was telling you about, I hope you can see. I'm in love with these cards, maybe too much so. You know, did I spend too much time, you know, doing research actions? You know, I can second guess it all night. Anyways, I'm rambling again, so I'm going to stop and say stay awesome. And thank you for the playthrough. I got the rules right this time. Yes, maybe there was a turn where I forgot to draw a card or whatever, but I'm not worried about that stuff. That's just human error. The rules are right, and I think everybody is equipped with what they need to play this game, enjoy it, and if you don't enjoy it, to at least throw it away or sell it before you open your copy. So anyways, thank you all very much, and stay awesome.